Hi all, I have another interesting game to show you from the Olympiad. So there's a massive wealth of chess games to show you. Now this is one of my favourite players, Hikaru Nakamura, playing for the United States. This is in round 5. So the United States in round 5 had their really powerful top team. They had Caruana on board 1, who's 2808. Nakamura on board 2. Wesley So 2782 on board 3. Nakamura only 7 points higher than Wesley So, so 2789. Ray Robson is the bunny of the team, of the USA team, 2674. So they're up against Serbia in this round, and Ivanisevic was 2650 playing Caruana. Now Nakamura's opponent, Robert Markus, 2662, so quite a high rated GM. On board 3, Nikola Sedlak, 2537. Board 4 for the Serbian team, they're all GMs. 2548 is Alexander Indjic. So okay, let's have a look at this game. E4 from Nakamura. Remember Sicilian defense. Knight F3, E6, D4, an open Sicilian. Goes into the can variation. This is the main move here. Bishop D3, in fact. Bishop C5, Knight B3. The bishop actually dropped back to E7. It doesn't want to go over there necessarily. And black has the kind of Scheveningen formation now, pawn structure. Those two pawns there. Now this is very popular. Queen G4. Try and encourage a weakness first. Also popular in this position, even more popular, is C4. Set up the Moxie bind. But Queen G4 has been seen a lot before. We see G6. So what mission accomplished? You know, creating slight weaknesses around here now on the dark squares. Queen drops back. Knight D7. We see Knight C3, Queen C7, Bishop E3. And there might be some ideas of clamping down on the queen side here, you might think. And in fact, after B6 we see A4, just clamping down black on the queen side. Now intriguing looking move, H5. This might not have been your ideal choice if you had the black pieces. It does kind of weaken the pawn chain a little bit. This trio of pawns is slightly weakened at G6 with H5. Will that be an issue later? I mean, alternatively, Knight Gf6. Maybe the idea of H5 was to stop a move like Bishop H6. You know, the rook's not looking. With H5, black would be stopping this. This is maybe slightly annoying. This position here is slightly annoying. White's slightly better. So maybe that could have been black's idea in playing H5, or one of them, behind this move. We see F4. Knight Gf6, Bishop D4, as though E5 could be on the cards. Black castled. Now this might look like quite an anti-positional move in some respects. Can you guess what white plays? You might think it's just routine and nothing special. White to play, Nakamura to play. What would you play here? Okay, F5. Some of you might have been cautious about the E5 square. That's my main point here. Black just takes that E5 square, and it looks on the surface, hold on a sec, with Knight E5 this bishop's kind of blocked in. Is there really pressure on the diagonal? Not really, surely. The knights are not really doing that much. Is this an attacking position or not? Engines have it around equal, no problem. It should be for black in theory. F takes. F takes is played. H3, depriving black of the G4 square. Knight FD7, and isn't black kind of comfortable here? We're going to get an exchange of rooks, and surely, you know, from this F5, what has white actually achieved? Hasn't black in fact got a good looking position here in many respects? Isn't the position kind of good looking with the knight on E5 supported by the other one? We see Queen E3, centralizing the queen slightly more. What could be the possible dangers to black of this Queen E3? We have Bishop B7, and technically black should be fine here. Absolutely fine. We see Knight E2. This move carries some potential venom with it, this transfer of the knight where it's not really doing anything, to a more aggressive looking square where it's eyeing e6 and g6 on f4. Rook e8 in advance of knight f4. Knight f4 is played anyway. There is a subtle threat in this position, and black's next move did not address it. Black played queen d8. More cautious would have been another move, but before showing you the other move, what does white play here against queen d8? White play, if I give you 5 seconds, starting from now. Surprising in some respects, but knight takes g6 appears to be a very strong move. The bishop, although it's blocked in, it's not always blocked in if this pawn is liberated. The game actually ended here. Yeah, the game ended here. Let's have a look why. If knight takes, what does white have? Queen g3, yeah, that little centralization move afforded now queen g3. That's a nice bonus. How does black defend? If he plays knight de5, we just take that off and then we're taking on g6. So that's horrible. This is a horrible position for black to lose that pawn, for example, just like that. And there's no actual defense of that knight. If king h7, we just liberate the bishop now, e5. How does black actually defend g6? If takes, we just take on e5 and then we're taking on g6 etc. later. So yeah, major little slip up, queen d8. So more cautious would have been king h7. Black's still in the game, very much in the game. In fact, black's looking forward to things like bishop h6. Fine, he can even like have the rook on the f file, as long as the e6 and g6 are not coming off the board tactically. So here, for example, this just doesn't work. Rook g8, for example. Yeah, what does white play here? It's about equal. So there's a tactical blowout here. Queen d8. So this knight maneuver. Yeah, this subtle. What gets me is the little tiny little moves, central, a little bit more central, afford these possibilities later to slip the opponent up, because the queen with that little centralizing move then tactically has queen g3 available after knight takes g6. This is a great move, you know, liberating in a way, activating immediately this bishop because it opens up for e5 after queen g3. So yeah, it's a tactical knockout game, quick tactical knockout game. So I thought I'd show you this one as well today. Hope you enjoyed that, got something from it. Again, little bits we get from these games, I hope, to improve our chess and our enjoyment of the game. Comments, questions, likes appreciated. Thanks very much.